No matter who you are a fan of, please subscribe to support me. Thank you, love you all very much. Who would win in this battle and why? Doomsday versus Onslaught. In a fight between Doomsday, DC, and Onslaught Marvel, Onslaught is often favored due to his psychic nature and reality-bending abilities. Doomsday is the result of a cruel and inhumane creation process, formed by cloning an infant and repeatedly subjecting it to a cycle of death and rebirth. He was killed over and over again, becoming the most dangerous being in the universe under the unprecedented harsh conditions of prehistoric Krypton. This endless cycle of destruction forced Doomsday to evolve, causing him to resurrect after each demise and gradually become almost invulnerable to any cause that had previously killed him. Doomsday's body is like a living fortress, where every injury becomes a catalyst for his power to increase. Before Krypton was known as an orderly and ideal world, it was a land of primal violence, a true hell where only the strongest could survive. The alien scientist Bertron harbored ambitions of creating the ultimate life form. He conducted countless failed experiments but did not stop. Bertron continuously collected cells from previous subjects, piling error upon error until Doomsday was born. However, this creation quickly grew beyond his control, escaped captivity, and spread death across many planets. His path of destruction eventually led Doomsday to Earth, where he confronted Superman in what was considered a fated battle. The clash between these two powers etched fear deep into human history when Doomsday was believed to have killed Superman, transforming him into the embodiment of absolute annihilation, a dark memory not easily forgotten. Doomsday possesses boundless destructive power, honed through harsh evolutionary stages. In one burst of power, Doomsday tore apart the dimensional structure within the Phantom Zone with just a direct strike. A single punch from him was enough to break Wonder Woman's arm, demonstrating a terrifying disparity in resilience and might. Doomsday easily overwhelms humans and is ready to face powerful extraterrestrial warriors, including sun-empowered Kryptonians. He can bend and destroy reinforced steel, pierce through barriers once considered impenetrable, and lift enormous masses with almost no effort. Rocks, trees, and massive structures can all be uprooted and crushed under his surging power. With such abilities, Doomsday is capable of defeating powerful hero teams like the Justice League or the Green Lantern Corps. Doomsday does not possess the ability to fly, but his legs, with their extraordinary leaping power, allow him to cover distances spanning miles in a single jump. In their first confrontation, Superman exploited this characteristic, attempting to keep Doomsday suspended in the air to limit his ability to stay grounded. Later, Superman further turned this leaping power into a weakness by throwing Doomsday into the water, aiming to slow his assault and prolong his counterattack time. Through countless evolutions, Doomsday has learned to adapt to every form of attack he has encountered. His power does not diminish over time, but continuously increases when facing adversity. His ability to jump for miles allows Doomsday to control the pace of combat, transforming the ground into a trembling battlefield. Each impact leaves widespread consequences for the surrounding world, demonstrating the constant threat Doomsday poses to civilization. When the battle concludes, fear takes hold. Doomsday can survive and operate in vast space, even without a life-sustaining environment. He functions normally amidst violent vacuums, spatial vortices, and even wormholes, requiring no oxygen, water, or any form of sustaining energy. Doomsday's regeneration occurs at a terrifying speed, allowing him to restore almost any injury in brief moments. His sharp, bone-like claws can directly tear through Superman's skin. Doomsday once simultaneously defeated Superman, Orion, and Martian Manhunter, almost completely neutralizing their resistance. Even the sharp spikes growing on his body are enough to pierce Kryptonian skin. A single blow nearly knocked Supergirl out completely. Doomsday killed a guardian of Oa and demonstrated his immortal status by neither aging nor weakening over time. He is almost immune to all physical and mental damage. Ammunition, missiles, laser beams, bombs, or high-voltage electricity leave no mark. Not even Darkseid's Omega beams could destroy him. Doomsday rendered most of the Justice League unable to fight back. He also emits deadly toxins that rapidly deplete everything around him. Superman could only hold out for a short time before falling. Doomsday's claws can even tear through space itself. In the New 52, he ripped through the Phantom Zone, a higher plane of existence, bypassing the Speed Force wall. This allowed him to attack invisible opponents and strike Martian Manhunter even in his phased state. Each of his appearances brings about the collapse of order and the belief in victory. Heroes are forced to unite, yet they are constantly repelled by his brutal adaptability. Doomsday's immortality lies not just in his physicality, but in the concept of having no ultimate limits. He does not learn through knowledge, but through repeated destruction. Every attack that was once effective quickly becomes meaningless. Now, let's continue with Onslaught. Onslaught is a psychic entity possessing rare destructive power, born from the darkest depths of hatred, resentment, and malice accumulated during the prolonged conflict among mutants. The moment it occurred was when the minds of Professor X and Magneto inadvertently merged for a brief period, laying the groundwork for this catastrophe's birth. The flashpoint originated from Magneto ripping the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton, an act that caused the final moral boundaries to collapse. Xavier used his telepathic abilities to push Magneto into a comatose state. However, this very act caused him to absorb all the rage, pain, and deep-seated darkness within Magneto's mind, while also awakening his own long-suppressed dark side. This intense emotional fusion gave birth to Onslaught as an independent consciousness residing within Xavier's mind. Initially, Onslaught entered a dormant state, silently observing the world from within. Over time, the entity's presence was increasingly nourished by Xavier's mounting frustration with society's hostile attitude toward mutants and his own unresolved personal tragedies. When Xavier's astral form was pulled into the physical plane by Nate Gray, the final barrier broke and Onslaught was fully unleashed. From that moment, Onslaught was no longer a latent concept but became a symbol of the twisted dark side of noble ideals. He carried the intellect of Professor X, combined with the iron will of Magneto, creating a power that was both cold and ruthless. Onslaught's initial objective clearly echoed Magneto's ideology as he pursued a vision of mutant dominance as the sole path to survival. However, upon accessing Nate Gray's memories and witnessing the Age of Apocalypse timeline, Onslaught gradually realized a bitter truth. Mutants could become just as cruel and oppressive as those they once despised. Facing this widespread threat, heroes from the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers were forced to set aside their differences and join forces to confront Onslaught. The battle was fiercely fought, exceeding all expectations, and the cost was profound, irreparable losses. Although Onslaught was defeated, that victory only came about thanks to Franklin Richards' actions when he created a pocket universe to save the survivors. Afterward, Onslaught continued to face resistance from the recreated heroes and was banished to the Negative Zone as a severe punishment. Onslaught escaped the Negative Zone and possessed Ricky Barnes, turning her into a tool for his ambition to revive his power. Once again, the heroes rose to stop him in a tense confrontation. Ultimately, Ricky Barnes chose to sacrifice herself to end Onslaught's plan, putting a stop to the cycle of tragedy. Onslaught inherited the full range of superior powers from his mutant origins, Professor X and Magneto, embodying both their intellect and will to dominate. When he absorbed Franklin Richards and X-Man Nate Gray, two Omega-level mutants, Onslaught's power was amplified to an unimaginable degree. Onslaught single-handedly confronted Earth's mighty allied forces, including the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. He even created a second sun, demonstrating his power to manipulate energy on a cosmic scale, and possessed physical strength comparable to the Hulk when uninhibited by Banner. Onslaught could establish psychic links to travel in astral form, effortlessly traversing spatial distances. His ability to read and transmit thoughts reached a level where he encountered virtually no resistance, even from the most powerful telepathic minds. Onslaught could control an opponent's will or completely paralyze their mind, creating the sensation of frozen time. This power was so potent that he was one of the few who could subdue the Hulk in a calm state, despite the Green Goliath's nearly absolute psychic resistance. Professor X and Magneto were particularly susceptible to Onslaught's influence because he was born from their very psychic essence. Every action of Onslaught reflected the tragedy of power. Onslaught possessed immense, superhuman strength with unknown limits. Onslaught could easily lift objects weighing over 100 tons without needing to use psychic, magnetic, telekinetic, or reality-altering powers to enhance his strength. Even when using those powers to augment his strength, Onslaught's maximum power limit remained unimaginable. Even before fully evolving, he demonstrated enough power to overwhelm Juggernaut at his strongest, and a single punch was potent enough to knock Juggernaut unconscious and send him flying from Canada to New Jersey. Afterward, he effortlessly pierced Juggernaut with his claws and ripped Kane's gem of Sidorak from his body. At his physical peak, Onslaught was able to match an enraged Hulk without Banner, who was the only one possessing enough strength to overcome Onslaught's power and destroy his armor, all while gradually unleashing more power to subdue the entire superhero team in the process. In their confrontations, Onslaught usually holds a dominant advantage. His ability to control objects with his mind, combined with his reality-bending powers, allows him to neutralize Doomsday's raw strength and formidable regeneration. Only in situations where his mental power is severely limited, or if he is forced to rely solely on physical force, does Doomsday have a chance to gain the upper hand. Onslaught's telepathy can probe, dominate, or paralyze Doomsday's consciousness, except in rare cases where Doomsday's unique alien physiology creates an unusual level of resistance. Even without achieving absolute control, Onslaught is still capable of rendering Doomsday immobile through remote manipulation or by disrupting his molecular structure. Onslaught does not need direct engagement. He can crush Doomsday from a distance, disintegrate his very existence, or seal him within a containment field of his own creation. His ability to restructure matter and manipulate force fields allows Onslaught to form direct countermeasures against physical might. Therefore, Onslaught's mental abilities clearly dominate, effectively nullifying all of Doomsday's physical advantages. Looking at Onslaught's deeper capabilities, he attacks the very foundation of existence rather than engaging on a superficial level. Doomsday, despite possessing extraordinary adaptability and regeneration, relies on direct conflict to unleash his full power. This disparity ensures the tide turns in Onslaught's favor in the long-term strategy. Every action he takes demonstrates complete control, from the realm of consciousness to physical structure. When the battlefield is no longer limited by brute strength, the outcome becomes clear. Onslaught does not need a quick victory. He simply needs to incapacitate his opponent. It is this cold, calculated patience that makes him the victor in most confrontations with Doomsday. So, guys, that's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Love you much.